opening statement. My heart is just filled with gratitude. So proud of these players, coaches, staff, former players, former coaches, former staff members that have just poured so much into this program. Thankful for our fans. Big Blue Nation was unbelievable these last 3 weeks, even dating back to the last regular season series of the year. Just absolutely incredible. Our fans really showed out, and this is my plea to get them to come to Omaha, create that same environment. Our players, they're unbelievable. They have true grit, true toughness, unbelievable belief, real belief in one another and each other, and their true love for one another really showed. It really showed. Not only this weekend, but really all season long. Just truly amazing. And I want to spend a special thanks to our other coaches and staff members. There's no way this happens without them. So just so thankful for these group of men and what they've been able to do and what they're going to continue to do. Gave us all an experience that we'll never forget.
All right, questions from the athletes?
For Cameron and Robert, just you faced one of the best offenses in the country, 3 hits all weekend. Can you just talk about what was the game plan? What do you guys were thinking going into this?
Just making our pitches. The biggest thing was just throwing strikes. They haven't seen us before, and so that's to our advantage. They haven't played us all year. We haven't played them. So we get to learn every day, and so just making our pitch, see what happens, and that was the best outcome for us.
Yeah, once again, Coach Roselle called a great game. He's been nails in the postseason, so we're just going out executing quality pitches, trusting what he calls, and Dev's got us back there behind the plate, so we're just going on the attack and executing quality pitches.
Daniel here, KySports Radio. Devin, you go back to media day. I believe there were a few of us crowded around you. I think it was Brian Millen that asked you if the goal is Omaha, and you said yes. And you said your mom already booked your hotel. Just how surreal is it now?
It's crazy. I mean, you always, you're gonna get there. You're confident in getting there with your squad. But man, when it actually happens, it's like you look around and we're like, we're going to Omaha. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And we all couldn't have done it without the coaching staff. Mr. Mitch Barnhart. All the higher ups. Everybody. Everybody is all hands on deck when it comes to this. So yes, sir.
Nolan, this for you. Just can you take me through the play where you scored the go-ahead run, kind of how it unfolded from where you were at?
Yeah, I was on second. Coach Min just making sure, telling me to be balanced on my skips. Don't want to get back picked or anything like that. It's a big run. And I saw it squeak by, and I was running to third, and immediately I saw their pitcher wasn't covering. I think I ran through a stop sign, but it ended up working out. So, yeah, no one's covered home, so might as well take what they're going to give you.
Were you worried that you dived too soon?
No. I told Robert before the game that I was gonna Pete Rose dive today.
Yeah.
And it ended up happening.
I mean, he's crazy, so.
This guy's crazy.
John Clay, Harold Leader. Robert, can you talk about the at-bat with Vazana there with you got him? I mean, that was a huge play in the game. What were you trying to do, and how did you get him out?
Yeah, the biggest thing, just thank Roselle. He's like, dude, just trust your stuff. They can't hit it. Everyone behind me had my back and was like, you have the best stuff here. And so so I just did that, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to trust my stuff, throw it, and if he hits it, he hits it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He's one of the best hitters. He's a Golden Spikes finalist. And so, I know I had to throw my best stuff to get him out.
Down here.
Dylan Ballard of Sea Blue. This is for any of you guys. How is it, the fans being there? I know Coach had mentioned it, a few of you guys have mentioned it, but how did it help at times, them just kind of being behind you guys, getting loud when you needed it, and just, I think Nicholson yesterday said it was like having an extra man out there. Can any of you guys elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'll go. Just, sometimes you got to look around in the game. I'm fortunate enough to be behind the plate, so I get a decent amount of time to look around and enjoy the environment. And I'll never forget after he threw that slider behind the dude's head, I looked back at Mr. Bryan behind the plate, and he just looked at me and started laughing. I was like, "It's loud, isn't it?" Yeah, it's loud. So, man, BBN, they do the most for us, and we appreciate them.
I mean, we could totally feel them all week. I was sitting on my couch with my roommates this morning, and it's like 9 p.m. game. You think they're going to show out? And, man, this is the craziest atmosphere I've ever been a part of. And, I mean, we played a super regional at the box last year. Just absolute support from those guys, and it's just amazing. It's amazing that BBN showed out, and it was absolutely a home field advantage. Whether it was a neutral site, it was a home field advantage. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing ever. I mean, it's 9 p.m. You kind of like you're looking and seeing if people are showing up, and then I mean, 7:25. You see people running to their seats. It's like, holy cow! It's kind of surreal, coming to see us play, and I mean, it's something that it makes us want to play for them and play for the state even more because having them there, it means a lot. It shows that they're here for us, and that just makes us want to do better.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we're looking at a 9v1 mentality on the mound, and you got Dev back there fist pumping, but nothing like BBN just getting loud when you get 2 strikes or you get a big out. I mean, it's super special and really helps us out there on the field.
Yeah, for the guys other than Nolan, can you describe what you were thinking when he was running around third base with that play? And how much does that play kind of sum up this team's mentality and what you guys do the way you play it all year?
I knew he had it. Yeah, I seen that happen. I mean, like, he's always being crazy. So. As soon as the ball went by and the pitcher was, I don't know what he was doing. He was like looking around or something. I hopped over the fence and I was like, "Nolan, like you're going." And he I was already on it. He was already like at home sliding. I was like, "Let's go."
Yeah, we were in the bullpen, and I was like, I was watching, and we were all like, "Oh my gosh, no one's doing it. Pitcher's not covering. Go!" And all of a sudden, I see him dive. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he just did the Pete Rose dive." I'm like, that was awesome. I'm like, I remember that, and it just shows how gritty we are and how we're willing to do everything it takes to win. I mean, he's crazy. So.
Jeff Drummond, Kentucky Rivals. Devin, you probably had the best view of this, but Mitchell Daly's
Oh yeah.
ball down the line. What do you see, and for any of you other guys that watch? And
Oh yeah. I mean, as soon as he hit it, called the pitch, and it was supposed to be expanded away. He would have got chewed out if that would have went by.
Yeah.
But because it was right down the middle.
It was right down the middle.
And he hit it, and as soon as it came out of his hand, I was like, "Oh man!" Like it was one of them pitches that you want back. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up hitting it on the ground, and we got basically a Gold Glover. We got all Gold Glovers all around the infield. I mean,
including you.
Yeah. And then he made it, and as soon as he made it, I was like, "Oh, he got him out." You know what I'm saying? I didn't even need to watch the throw. I was already yelling. I was already like, "Let's go!" So, yes, sir.
Yeah, for that, Mitch is one of the best clubhouse guys you can have, and he's a guy who played shortstop for 3 years before this, and he turned into a third baseman this year. It's just super impressive to see what he's done this year because you can hit it 110 miles an hour. He's keeping it in the infield. I mean, just one of the best, the hardest workers I've been around. Just awesome to see it come through in a big moment.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, he's got the heart of gold. I mean, he's there cheering everyone on. He wants everyone else to do good, and we all love him to death. He's a brother, and I mean, he's selfless. And like every time he's in the box, he's always pounding his chest because he's like, we know he's got us. So.
What's it do for a pitcher when you see that behind you?
It makes pitching a lot easier. I'll tell you that. I mean, knowing that you have Gold Glovers at every single position and you have a guy that will block every single ball behind the dish makes it pretty easy to pitch. I mean, you don't have to worry about giving up a dribbler or a hard hit because, if it's on the ground or if it's in the air, it's an out.
Yeah, I mean, I was squatted down in the corner of the dugout just trying to keep it cool, but I saw Mitch dive, and Coach always says you can't let the ball get by you down the line. So just seeing him way out, I knew he stopped it, and then seeing him hop up and make the throw was just incredible. And I knew right then we were going to win that game.
Michelle.
Michelle Knesvik, UK Sports Network for Robert or Cameron. What is it like to have a guy like Devin behind the plate who can adjust to whoever's on the mound?
He knows us more than we know ourselves sometimes. I mean, he's back there giving me fist pumps, hitting his chest when he needs to, giving me cues like when I throw a bad pitch. I mean, it's just awesome to have support like that back there. And, when Coach calls it in the dirt, like, we're told to make Devin work. So it's really cool to see him back there blocking those balls for us and being big.
It's pretty awesome having him back there because it's his energy that also helps you pitch. Seeing him fist pump, seeing him jump up, and I mean, you know he's got it. I mean, and it just makes you like, all right, I got this too. Like having that guy behind the dish because he's just such a leader, you know.
A couple more, John.
I know you guys have unfinished business in Omaha, but what does it feel like to be the first Kentucky team to make it to Omaha? I mean, there can only be one first team.
Come on, let's go.
We don't move. We don't move. I'll start. I mean, this is something Devin and I have been talking about since our freshman year. We were just probably hitting down here more than anyone else when they were on the road and stuff. I mean, we were just down here talking about Omaha in a couple of years. And Coach Minge, I think was it our freshman or sophomore year? We had to read a book called the Energy Bus.
Energy bus. Yeah.
But we started calling it the Omaha Bus because we were going to get to Omaha. And just seeing the way it's built over the last couple of years, feels like we really kicked the door down now. And I mean, we have unfinished business, but I mean, it feels amazing to be the first ones.
That's great.
Yeah, it's special. I think when I was in the transfer portal, a lot of things Coach Minge was telling me was, you're going to come here and do something that's never been done before. So to sit here and be doing something that's never been done before is pretty awesome, and we're definitely not done yet.
Yeah, it's honestly surreal. It's probably the best thing that any of us could have asked for, being in this position. And so we're going to go to Omaha and we're going to do our thing because we ain't done.
Robert, you were chatting with Darren and me prior to, I guess, yesterday's game about how you felt like breaking pitches would be a key this weekend against the Pac-12 team. Did that give you confidence? Clearly, did it play out the way you thought it would?
Yeah, I mean, it goes to say, I mean, we all have really good stuff, everyone up and down the staff. And being able to throw it in there for a strike makes it 10 times easier. I mean, look at Johnny. He just threw 3 breaking balls to end the game. And so that just kind of helps, and especially like when you have guys that can do that, it makes it easier. And like I told you, breaking balls against these guys, they've been seeing as fastballs, you know? And so being able to have stuff that they haven't seen before makes it easier to get them out.
Yeah, one more in the back.
Sorry for my voice, guys. Mike Laps with Fox 56. You guys always think about Omaha, right? And you guys have never done it before. It's the pinnacle of the sport, but what have been your thoughts about Omaha? Just your dreams? You know, once you get there, you'll see it, but what have those dreams been like in your head, and then what are you expecting when you actually get there?
I swear I could smell it in the last one. When we got 2 outs, I was like, oh my goodness, we going, baby. Come on, we going. But yeah, it always feels like untouchable, you know what I'm saying? It always feels like, because it is, you know, it's the road to Omaha is so long, you know what I'm saying? So, man, we just come out every day, you know, just don't expire.
We got a day.
But, you know, 12 o'clock hits, you know, it expires, and, you know, come out to practice the next day, or if we have an off day, go lift, just keep going, keep going. Then you finally achieve this, and it's like, it don't even feel real. You know what I'm saying? It feels like you still have unfinished business, which we do. So just keep going.
I mean, I think I was like probably 10 to 15 years old in summer ball at a hotel somewhere, just watching the College World Series, and it's just amazing. And it's been my dream ever since then. Being able to have this opportunity, it's just awesome. And going into that at 9th inning, I knew Rob was crazy. I knew he was crazy, and he was going to get us an out. And then, I mean, talking about with breaking pitches, I'm sitting with 2 guys with some of the best breaking stuff in the country, and Johnny Hummel's slider and curveball are unreal. I mean, man, I could taste it too. It was crazy. I was on my knee just waiting for it, and man, they delivered.
Yeah, I think that picture over there of the TD Ameritrade, that's been like the header on my Twitter since like senior year of high school or something like that. So it's always been a goal of mine, and to be able to go there, it's going to be awesome. But we're still focused on the game on the field.
Yeah, I would say being able to go back with guys that I love means a lot. And doing something that UK's never done before means even more. just like it's almost speechless. I don't even know how to put it. I don't know how to put it. It makes me
Bobby
speechless.
Spence.
It is.
That we're going.
Hoagie's, and I don't mean to interrupt, but Hoagie's story is pretty amazing. If you guys ever get a chance to just find out where he was just a year ago mentally, not making road trips, not pitching, just down and out. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And to do what he's done here is truly remarkable, and it's a true testament to the type of man that he is. And I'll let him tell you the story at another time, but it's really amazing what he's been able to do. And
Appreciate you, Coach.
really, Nolan and Devin, these are red shirts. They're redshirted. They didn't make road trips. They just waited their turn. They just waited for their time. In the day and age where people just run and leave because they don't get their playing time that they want, these guys waited their turn. They watched the bus leave week after week. They just stayed here. And all they did was make themselves better and believe in this program and do everything they can to help Kentucky. And this is a perfect example of exactly what's going on in our program. Bunch of selfless guys that have just waited their turn and for their opportunity to help Kentucky. These two guys on the end, they literally, when you ask them in the portal, what are you looking for? Say, I want a place where I can win and I can develop. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. And now here they are. They've won and they've developed. And they're better than they've ever been. And truly remarkable. Maybe when this season's over, who was the show where it was like the rest of the story? Who is that from years?
Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey. When this whole thing is over and this season's over, you guys will know the real rest of the story, and it will blow you away. It will blow you away, the sacrifices that these guys, not only them, the rest of the people in our program have made to be in this position. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, and actually to go off of you, Coach, like it's just like we all believe in you, because you make us better. The type of man you always want us to like be a great human beings, and we just look up to you and we believe in you and everything you've done. I mean, that shows Nolan and Devo and even me. Like the first conversation you and me ever had, we connected on faith, and I knew I wanted to come here because of the type of person you were.
Yeah.
I'll add on to that. Shout out Coach Minge. Devin can attest. He's been the same guy since this first day I stepped on campus, and we had some seasons we didn't do what we wanted to do, and he's just held the course, and he's been an amazing coach, an amazing leader, and I can't thank him enough. And I know Devin can back me up on that.
Yeah, I'll go after him. Coach Mans gave me Coach Coggin actually recruited me here, but then Coach Minge, he's the big dog. He does the final say, you know what I'm saying? So, man, he gave me a chance to come here, not only me, but my family, I don't come from very much. And, he gave my mom a good opportunity for me to come here and be able to afford this place and, just really enjoy my time here and not make it stressful on me and my family. And, I just can't appreciate him enough, man. And, like he said, a lot of guys, they tuck their tail and they run whenever they don't get playing time, but you can't do that when you get the pro ball. My mom was big on that, red shirting, that the portal opened up, and I'm like, Mom told me you ain't going nowhere. Like Coach Minch gave you a shot to be there, and you're gonna earn it. You're gonna sit there and earn it. I said, yes, ma'am. We gave you some shot. I'll never say enough thanks to him, man. He made me into half the man I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you.
I remember the story about when we decided that it would be in Devin's best interest to redshirt him. And I think Mom came and picked him up, and they were driving home. And I ended up talking to Miss Denise, and I just said, hey, I just want to make sure that you understand, like, we believe this is the best thing for Devin. We believe he's going to be a great player for us one day. But what our current situation is, this is the best thing. And I'll never forget what his mom said. She said, Coach, whatever you decide, I trust you. I've given you my son, and I trust you. Come on, who says that?
Good mom.
What mom? Like, really? Really? I just said your son, you're paying, investing all this money to send your son to come to not play for one inning? And she says, Coach, I trust you. Whatever you think is best for Devin. I mean, come on. What an amazing woman. And, yeah, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
I don't want to get that text. Yeah. I got my name tag.
My name tag?
Oh, you want yours, Deborah?
Thank you.
Kristen, get up here. Reeves, come on. We're doing a family one tonight.
All right, question for Coach, right down here, back to the right.
Coach, Dylan Ballard, Sea of Blue. Did you decide how long you're gonna give them to celebrate?
I haven't. What do you guys think? I think I might give them till tomorrow. You think? I guess it is tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll
give them tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't told them. Well, give them till today.
We'll give them tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Midnight?
Midnight till, what is this? Is this already Monday? So Monday at midnight? Wait, Tuesday morning?
Coach Devin said he'd already said it's after midnight, so this counts until Monday.
Yeah, that's good thinking.
Michael Epps, Fox 56. The moment that you shared with Reeves was pretty amazing. I've told you before, I'm not, a UK fan, I'm not from here. I felt the emotions in the entire place after that win. But that moment specifically, when you picked him up and you were just screaming to the heavens and Reeves was just crying. I mean, that was an amazing moment. Can you guys both talk about that?
What'd you think, Reeves? Tell them how you felt.
Amazed and very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, never felt anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
I'll just never forget that moment.
Yeah. Guys, this is gonna be hard, but I want to get real with you guys. I cannot do this without Kristen. She is my rock, and coaches' wives do not get enough credit for what they have to go through. The 2022 was a really hard time for me. It was a really difficult time, and I want to share some things of why, and maybe you see a side of me that you haven't seen. Cole Stupp and Darren Williams both go down. I have as much respect for Cole Stupp as any pitcher that's ever pitched for me. He loved this place, he loved it, and he goes down, and so does Darren Williams. And I can tell you that one of the worst feelings as a coach is to have one of your players get injured. It crushes me personally, and it crushes this woman to my left. It's like these are her own kids. And we lost them for that year, and we really believed that we had a regional or super regional type team. And I'm going to tell you this. We went on this great run. We were 1 win short. We were 1 win short. We finished 4th in the SEC tournament for the first time ever. It was the best finish, but we were 1 win short. But earlier in that year, I had some dark nights. Devin or Nolan paid me a compliment, and I did the best I could hold it together. But I was really crushed as a coach. I was hurting like I've never hurt before. And I can be hard-headed and I can be stubborn. Ask this woman. She'll tell you. But I was beat down. I was a beat down coach. And God taught me a valuable lesson. I did something that I've only done 2 other times in my life, and I surrendered. I just finally said, Lord, I'm done. I'm done. I cannot do this on my own anymore. I'm hurting for those 2 boys. I'm hurting for our team. I just felt like, man, and I was trying to do it all by myself. And the Lord put it on my heart that I was not using my spiritual gifts that He's given me. And we had to make changes. I had to make changes. And One major change we made was we brought Nick Amorati from coaching third base to the dugout to be with the players. And it put me at third base. And I started coaching third base on May 15th of 2022. I started coaching third base, and I put ammo in there. You can't make this up. I surrendered. I surrendered. I said, Lord, I can't do it. And that's what he led me to do. I want to play you a song. I want to play you a song. And this song describes perfectly how God changed my life that night. Please listen.
All I see is the battle. You see my victory. When all I see is the mountain, you see a mountain moved. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight on my knees, with my head lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you.
And that's what I did. I just said, I'm done. Lord, this battle belongs to you. And from that day on May 15th, you can check the stats. In the regular season only, we have more wins than any team in the SEC since that day. You can't make this up. Only God can make this up. And people told me it would be impossible for Kentucky to make it to Omaha. I literally had people tell me that. And that day I surrendered, and this is what the Lord has done. Reeves knows a Bible verse for every letter in the alphabet. I'm a proud father of that. Reeves, what's your J Bible verse? Jesus what?
Jesus looked at them intently and said, humanly speaking, it is impossible, but with God, anything is possible.
And God taught me a lesson. It's not what you're playing for, it's who you're playing for. And I got done chasing this dream of Omaha, and I just said, I'm done. I'm not chasing that anymore, Lord. I want to play for you. It's not what you're playing for, it's who you're playing for, and that's what God taught me. So here we stand today. I give him all the honor and glory. To God be the glory. Amazing. Amazing, and I hope you appreciate my transparency because that was real.
Coach, you talk about your faith. What was going through your head in those last 3 pitches? What were you saying to God?
I was just like, Lord, please bless these kids. That's what I really was, especially when Hoagie was out there, what all he has been through. I was just like, Lord, please bless these players, please. And that your will be done. And Aaron Hogue, just a good friend of mine, he sent me a text a couple days ago, and he just reminded me that God was on his throne and that we would be fine regardless. And God already knows the beginning, the end. He already knows the whole story. This has all already been written, and I just trust him.
I asked the pitchers earlier, can you just talk about their mentality this week and their toughness? Three hits all weekend against one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah, and Mason was rolling today. He was rolling, and he got into trouble in the fourth, and they did a great job just grinding him. They're 2-strike foul balls. They did all that without a hit. They scored all those runs and got him for a ton of pitches, and it just got to a spot where he threw too many pitches in that inning. We had to make a change. But Dan Roselle has done a remarkable job with our pitchers from day one. And He gets them to be pitchers, not throwers. And that's what our guys did. For the last however many weeks, we've been pitching. We haven't been throwing. So, I give our players a lot of credit, too, for even recognizing the job that Dan has done, just calling the game. I mean, they had 2 hits today. I mean, they led, offensively, you guys know all the statistics where they led statistically. In the country now, there's 305 Division I schools, and they're leading the country in a lot of top 10 in a lot of offense categories. And you only do that with really good players, a good game plan, and a coaching staff like Coach Rozelle. He's had them ready. He had them ready. So Cam was fantastic. The job that Hoagie did, awesome. Ryan Hagenow came in, and we were going to use his changeup. That's how we were going to try to get their leadoff guy out. And James made a good play, got the ball in immediately. And next thing you know, Johnny came in and did what he does, just pumped a ton of strikes and got a huge punch out. But pitched and really defended at a super high level.
Right here.
Kind of expanding on Johnny, he didn't even pitch at the regional. How big is it just for him to finally get his moment and come in and finish that ball?
Yeah, and our starters did such a good job the last 2 weekends. Our starters did amazing for the most part, and Cam's been our fireman, and he started throwing the ball as good as he's thrown, and same thing with Hoagie. But he's waited his turn, and boy, was he ready for that. I mean, Austin Cousineau, I'm so happy for him, a guy that loves Kentucky, to come here in the first year. And when we were bringing Johnny in, he came up to me in the dugout, and Cousy's like, "Do you remember what you told me about Johnny Hummel when we were recruiting him?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Do you remember?" He's like, "Coach, you told me that guy for the last year at the school he was at, he pitched with the game on the line. Every time that opposing coach gave him the ball, it was his job to hold it and stop it." And I said, "Yeah, I do remember that." And he goes, "He's going to get this done right here. He's going to get this done." That's what Kuzi said, and sure enough, we did.
Michelle Nasbick, UK Sports Network. Coach, you talk a lot about experiences these last 2 weeks. Start with the selection show. Reeves told us that he got baptized. The team came. Crowds you've never seen before at this park, and now you're heading to Omaha for the first time. I mean, can you even describe it all?
I can. These have been the best 2 weeks of my life. Yep. I mean, I don't know how you can make it better. We sat in this room 2 months. I guess is today Monday? Is it Monday? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. There we go.
Still Monday.
2 weeks ago, we sat here and we had the whole team, and they did a selection show, and we were the number 2 national seed. Then this little dude stands up, and he invites the team to his baptism on Thursday. So then the whole team voluntarily, they didn't have to come. I told them 2 different times, guys, don't feel like you have to come. They show up. This dude gets baptized. Kristen and I both did it. And then we play Friday, we win. We play Saturday, we win. We play Sunday, we win. Then we have a great week of preparation and practice. We play Saturday, we win. We play Sunday or Monday night, and we win. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how you could have a better 2 weeks. As parents, for him to make the greatest decision he could ever make in his life, and then to give our fans and our players an experience they'll never forget. And Kristen was born in Omaha. When I first met her at Mississippi State, realized we share the same faith, and she was beautiful. And I said, "Where were you born?" She's Omaha. I'm like, "It's meant to be." It was meant to be. So the joke has always been to take her home. She was born on the Air Force Base there, and taking you home.
Let's go.
Taking you home. So I'm also really happy for Mitch Barnhart. The guy has done amazing things, not just for our baseball program. If you guys really, and I hope you guys have, he's the second longest tenured athletic director in the Power 5 conferences. Second longest. There's teams in our league that have been through 7 athletic directors. 7. And he has stood the test of time. And I always say he's been under a bunch of attacks, and I say his skin is so scarred over you guys can't get him anymore because he's just so tough. But he built this place, this room you're sitting in, this facility. This is long before Nick Mingione ever came. He built this place, and invested in it and just envisioned this could be possible. And what he's done for all of our sports has been truly remarkable. And I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
Any more here?
Coach Aaron Gershon from the Cats Files. Can you just walk us through what you saw in Nolan's play from your vantage point?
Yeah.
Did you give him the stop sign?
All right. I'm going to quote the players. They said he's crazy. Coach Minch didn't say that. Okay? Nolan is like super aggressive, and the guys called him crazy. Okay? Nolan is the guy that wants to do this, make the special play. Okay? I was telling him to stop verbally, okay? Not physically, but the game was in front of him. And I'm happy he went because he saw something. And we allow our players to make decisions on their own. This was different than like a base hit or something. The play was actually in front of him. When there's a play in the outfield, the play's behind him. But this was a play that was in front of him. And I said this in the ESPN interview after the game, that easy coaching is just sitting there doing nothing. You don't bunt, you don't steal, you don't hit and run, you don't do anything. Really, that's actually easy coaching. It's hard coaching to try to get guys to do the fake bunts, the slashes, the hit and runs, the hit home runs, the battle with 2 strikes, like to put plays on. It's hard. But we have allowed our players to play with what I would say brains and guts. It takes brains and guts. And we allow them to make mistakes. You've seen it all year. How many times have they tried to take an extra base and get thrown out? How many times have they tried a ball in the dirt and they get thrown? But we allow them to play aggressive. And we believe that when you do that, you put pressure on 18 to 24-year-olds, you're going to get them to make a mistake eventually. And it's hard on them. And I'm glad he went. And he did the Superman dive. Like, he was going to do something that it was going to be like, you know, it was like a Nolan McCarthy moment. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I was telling him to stop, but I actually had my back. It was actually roles were reversed. I saw the catcher catch it, but I didn't see the pitcher, but he did. And I thought it was a great play.
If I can follow up real quick, is he okay? I know he came out of
Yeah, he said I give him a lot of credit, too, because he kind of tweaked his hamstring on that. And he basically, during that pitch change, was like, Coach, I'm getting tight. I cannot make a play right now. And he actually took himself out, which was really, really smart and unselfish. He's like, Coach, I can't make the plays that the game's going to demand. And I was like, okay, you want to come out? And he's like, yes, I do. And Ty Krittenberger was ready. Like, that guy's always ready. He's been preparing for his moment. He's always ready. And, so he was honest with that. So I was proud of him for that.
Jeff.
Nick, you mentioned earlier that someone had literally told you you can't make it to Omaha through Kentucky. Looking back on that, was there ever any thoughts that crossed your mind, maybe they're right, and then how did you overcome that?
Yeah. I fell in love with this place. In the summer of 2005, John Cohen gave me the opportunity to come here. And I came from Embry-Riddle. I was at Antioch School, and we had been in College World Series 3 years in a row. And really, we had to come from a program where you just won. That's what you did. And that first year, we won the SEC. And it was an amazing experience, and we host our first ever regional. And I saw how the people, like, just rallied. We didn't have big crowds originally, and then we started winning, and the people started coming to the games. And that's when I fell in love with Kentucky. And this is the place, you've heard me say this over and over, this is the only place I wanted to coach. And Kristen will tell you, tell them what I told you, like when we first met.
When we were first married, we were sitting on our couch in our 725 square foot condo, and he said, Kristen, I'm going to be the head coach at the University of Kentucky one day. And I was like, all right, let's have big dreams. Let's keep going, and here we are. And to add to that, when people told us we couldn't make it to Omaha, I said, challenge accepted. Let's do it. Let's do it.
See where I get some of my toughness from? So
she doesn't move.
No, she does not move.
Neither does
This is a tough woman. I mean, she is. Coaches' wives, they just don't get enough credit. They live and die on every pitch, every recruiting phone call, every game, every injury. they're in it, and she is in it with us. And I told you in 22 I had some long nights, and she was right there for me. And so, yeah, how did I handle it? I just through prayer. I'm going to share something with you guys since you asked. I'm going to miss some people, but I believe in the power of prayer. And 3 years ago, Coach Madison challenged me. I'm so happy for Coach Madison, by the way. 25 years to this program. He's been leading our staff in a coach's Bible study for 8 years. 8 years. And 3 years ago, he challenged me and the other coaches to find 7 people to pray for you every day. So I was like, okay. So I found 7 people that have been praying. I believe in the power of prayer. But I went through my phone and I typed in the text messages, prayer. Okay? And all these text messages came up. Listen to all these people that have been praying for this moment and for our players and their hearts and souls. Kristen, Reese prays, Courtney prays, and the BSF prayer warriors. Mitch Barnhart prays. Connie Barnhart has prayed. Keith Madison has prayed. Sharon Madison, Tim Bernal, Shelly Bernal, Mackenzie Willoughby,